moment. Jose is going to have to hope he can make a run for it, but Rabbit is able to take it off, and he is your current leader. Only a couple of laps to go, guys. Absolutely incredible.
Not sure if Jose made a mistake or what, but it seemed like that move took him by surprise. I don't think he was wanting to run the high side right there, and that just totally threw him offline. And now the 12 got a great run down the back straight, a great run through 3 and 4, and now he's got a little bit of a gap. The draft could work in Jose's favor here, but we'll have to see.
Absolutely. He is definitely losing his car, though. Handling is going away for him, and I'm trying to get up here with Rabbit.
I think he's out of fuel.
Oh, no.
43 might be out of fuel.
Yeah, he is just falling back. I hate to see that for him. Rabbit, there's no way we're coming up on the final lap here once we hit the line. Rabbit is definitely going to be your leader if he has fuel, if nothing crazy happens, if he can keep everyone behind him. He is going to be your winner here tonight. Absolutely incredible.
Came from a long way back. You have to wonder if maybe he didn't take full fuel, or maybe he took like a can and a half to try to make the car lighter and add some speed to it. Very, very interesting.
That is absolutely crazy. I'm hearing he did not run out of fuel. His car handling is just that bad. We have Rabbit coming up on this final turn. He is going to be your winner here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Once he crosses this line, here you go. He is your winner here tonight. Congratulations to him. Rabbit taking a look on that inside. They are too wide at the moment. Jose is going to have to hope he can make a run for it, but Rabbit is able to take it off, and he is your current leader. Only a couple of laps.
Yes.
All right, guys, good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to do a mic test real quick. Make sure everything's going good. I hope you guys had a good time watching the race today. Kyle getting his 200th win. Looks like everything is good with the mic check. Man, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AKA's Cup Race here at Talladega, presented to you by Shake and Bake Racing. I gotta tell you, Talladega is one of my favorite tracks due to how many lines you can run. You get to test your limits with the amount of draft, but also keeping your car steady at those high speeds. But you also have to remain calm throughout all that chaos. So for me, it is a lot of fun. And before we get started tonight, we have a driver interview for the driver spotlight. We're joined by Wonder, who pilots the number 14 car. He currently sits 11th with 157 points. So welcome to the booth, Wonder. If you're ready, let's get started with your questions.
All right. Hello, Toes.
I've known this guy since... Yeah, I've known you since, I don't know, 14 or so. So it's been a while we've known each other. But it's good to have you here. Mm-hmm. For the first question, what is the most memorable race you participated in, and why?
Well, I'd say probably the most memorable would be it was one of the showcase races, first showcase for the Xbox guys. And at Daytona. And,
yeah.
We ran the race, had some gear strategy together, and our AKA club come on with a 1, 2, 3. They're in the first showcase race. It was a pretty memorable moment for us as a team.
Absolutely. I remember that race, and you guys had such a fantastic strategy. If I recall, you guys started towards the rear of the field and just used that strategy to make your way up through there. So that's very exciting, and it puts in a good view of you guys as drivers and strategists going into the showcases. So that was actually very cool to see.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right, for your second question, what is your favorite track on schedule, and what is your least favorite?
Well, my favorite would probably be both of the restrictor plate tracks.
Yeah.
Just simple fact, it's a lot of aero and gearing. Just a lot of fun. I know a lot of guys, they don't like the restrictor plate tracks, but for myself, I tend to do well at both tracks and enjoy running there. my
Very
least
cool.
would
Yes.
be such as like Martinsville. Sure, too many guys are crazy about running Martinsville, but once again, we had one of those in the showcase races. I think I had problems getting in, and I didn't qualify, so I had to start at the back of the pack for one of the showcases. Ended up 11th.
Oh, geez.
Which actually felt like a win coming back from all the way
Right.
back there. But
Definitely.
and the road courses, I'm not that. I'm more of a mile and a half or on up.
Yeah.
Where aero and gearing plays a big part in setup.
Right. So you like to go super fast.
I do.
Yeah,
do.
I hear you
should
on
know
that.
me by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, Wonder, tell me something we don't know about you.
Well, I do have a life outside of Xbox, that's for sure. First and foremost, I like to. I do a lot of camping, do a lot of fishing, do some tournament fishing.
Oh, nice.
When it warms up here in Ohio, we do some tournament walleye fishing. I'm a big race fan. We usually go to Bristol and Kentucky every year, and
Very cool.
yeah, a lot of fun. I have some
Very,
hobbies.
very cool. All right, Wonder, for your next question, what aspects of driving do you excel at, and what do you struggle with?
Oh, I think I excel at restrictor plate tracks. I'm pretty good with being able to find air for draft, and I would like to think that I'm a patient driver. I tend to strive for patience, but I know we're all at times, we make our bonehead moves, but that's what I excel at. I think, there's not a guy in our club that really gets too nervous when I'm around, and knows, pretty much what I can do and what I can't. And
Right.
I strive to be a clean racer. So.
Good.
I struggle, once again, short tracks. I'm a patient person. It seems like at short tracks, patience doesn't pay. So,
Fair enough.
like I said, for the most part, I'm a 2.5 or a mile and a half on up kind of driver. I will run the races, that's posted, listed, and all that business, and I'll work hard to pin them down, but seem to struggle with the short tracks.
Yeah. Everyone has that track that they're not so good at, so I can definitely understand that. For your last question, what is your goal this season?
Well, to improve. I know in the Cup Series here, I've had just a string of bad luck. It's been one disaster on, right into the next one. Have a pretty clean race, and somehow I end up getting in some type of a mess throughout the race, and I don't know if I don't know. It seems like the old 14 car is a magnet. If there's anything going on crash-wise, I'm gonna
Oh, geez.
find it and be in it. So,
Well,
I think we've had a good car all season. It's just a victim of circumstances why we haven't had better finishes.
right. Well, hopefully your luck turns around tonight, and we can maybe see you in Victory Lane. That would be pretty awesome. So good luck to you tonight.
Yep, I sure hope so.
Thank you for joining us in the booth. It was really cool getting to interview you. I've known you for, like I said, a long time now. So again, good luck to you tonight, and hopefully we see you in Victory Lane.
And you as well in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Wonder.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with J-Mac, and this guy is awesome. He's in the booth with me week in and week out. How are you, J-Mac?
I'm doing quite well, Frozen.
Awesome. Let's talk about last week. Week 5, we saw a very clean, exciting race at Auto Club. And this track can be ran several different ways. So the front runners throughout the race, that included Jose, More Dog, Dodge Boys, Toaster, and Rabbit, Towards the end, though, the race came down to Jose and Rabbit, but unfortunately, Jose had an ill-handling car and ended up running out of gas that opened the door for Rabbit, who made the pass for the win with only a few laps to go while Jose fell back. But man, J-Mac, that was a crazy race, and you know how Talladega goes. What are you expecting tonight from these guys?
Well, you don't really know what to expect. Will these guys race hard and stay side by side? Will they line up and just try to log laps until the end of the stages and then go for points? It's one of those things where it could be a mixed bag of both. I don't know. Talladega is always a wild card, always. So it's just going to be about keeping it clean. If damage is on, you obviously want to keep that car clean. Some guys will be hanging out in the back, obviously, if damage is on, and probably not racing until the win itself is on the line. So we're going to see a mix of strategies.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to see that. Speaking of strategy, let's talk about fuel and everything else. These guys should get around 21 laps for fuel mileage. It's a 94-lap race, so first stage we're going to see around 27 laps. Second stage around the same, 27. The third and final we'll see around 39. So they are going to have to make pit stops in these stages. Damage should be on. We'll see what he decides for Pro Boss, but it should be on. Stages are on. So these guys are really going to have to watch. If they have damage on and we're at Talladega, if they get in that big one, you know, multiple cars are going to have to come in, and that's automatically going to slow them down, considering if you do have to fix that damage, like I said, it does slow it down. So it's going to be, you know, it could be a mixed bag like J-Mac said. In Daytona, we had Boss winning that race. Atlanta, we had Freaky Fast. Race number 3 at Indy, Lucky Dog won that one. And then 4 and 5, Rabbit won both of those. So we'll see what happens tonight with that. I'm excited to see.
The fuel window. Oh, yeah. With the fuel window so close to the number of laps that will make up each stage, it'll be very interesting to see what kind of strategies they play. I imagine there will be a lot of fuel-only stops in these stages.
Yeah, so many different things can happen. I think a lot of strategy is going to come into play tonight. And that's the part I really, really like, to see how these guys play it out. Are we going to see these guys, you know, saving fuel, running in the back? Or are we going to see these guys running as hard as they can, trying to gain those positions and get as much as they can out of it? That is what is really cool about these tracks. And I know they should be finishing up with qualifying, so we should be getting down to the race time pretty soon here at Talladega. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat and Venma. We have Rock NASCAR out there, Short Track Racer. Thank you guys joining so much. It should be a lot of fun tonight. So I hope you enjoy it, and I know these guys will put on a great show. Talladega, though, it is always a crazy, crazy show. You've seen it in real life. You can always have that big one, multiple people involved in wrecks. So I'm expecting a clean race for the most part, but I do think that we're going to see a lot of accidents tonight, and a lot of maybe a big one or two. We'll find out what happens.
And you hate to talk about it, but with everybody on top of each other like they will be, this is a place where the little glitches in the game, a little lag, it can take a lot of people out and change the entire complexion of the race. So that'll be interesting to see what kind of wild cards are thrown at the wild card race.
Absolutely. And we saw it last week, J-Mac, where we had this strange lag in the race where everyone just stopped on the track. I believe it was on a restart. And Wonder said it there, that he had a ton of damage from this, and that required him to come in, which completely destroyed how he was doing in the race. So hopefully we don't have any of that tonight. But the longer, I personally feel the longer a race goes on, the more cautions you have, the more you're going to see lag and some glitching going on. So hopefully we don't run into that tonight.
Absolutely. Hopefully these guys keep it clean, race hard, and put on a show for us.
I gotta say hello to Happy Harvick out there. I hope you're doing well tonight. I'm glad to have you in here. We have quite a few people out there, so hopefully they keep coming in before the race. From what I'm hearing, they're trying to get things started. They're having a couple of issues with the party breaking up, so hopefully we can get that situated and get these guys moving into the race. It'll be 94 laps, 21 for fuel. And for the first and second stage, like I said, we're doing 27 laps here, so they are going to have to come in for a pit stop. Same for the last one, so we'll see. I have a feeling we're going to see some guys possibly saving some fuel if needed, if we have cautions. But it'll be a cool race to see for his strategy and also who is teaming with who. We're going to have to pay a lot of attention to that because I guarantee we're going to see a lot of teamwork going on here, a lot of people pitting together. You don't want to go solo at this track. You have to stay together.
Absolutely. If you lose the draft, you lose so much time. You have to stay with your buddies, with your friends. Coordinate the stop, try to get slowed down on the pit road, get below that pit road speed limit, and there's a lot of coordination that goes into these races that has to be worked out if you're going to have a successful finish.
Absolutely. And like I said, tonight we're going to go back to real life here, and Kyle Busch getting 200 wins. I'm curious what the guys in chat think about that, but man, he's got some talent. I actually missed the race, so I can't talk too much about the race since I didn't even get to see it, but crazy. I had Harvick winning, but a lot of talent out there, I gotta tell you. So it's cool to see it, but man, I cannot wait to get to Talladega tonight, and we are going there for our race on Thursday, J-Mac, for Talladega, so hopefully we can have a clean race there also. Like I said, a lot of things can happen, though. A lot of big ones.
Absolutely, but I have to worry less than everyone else does.
That is true. This guy won at Canadian Tire on Thursday. A crazy race between him and BDF. They did a great job. But in the end, J-Mac pulled it off, and this guy is also a Pro League driver for RCR, so a huge congratulations to all you guys that made that.
Yay!
Vinma says, dude is a beast and deserves it. It's true. It is true. The guy has a ton of talent. A lot of people do not like hearing his name, how often it is brought up, but I mean, the guy deserves a lot of respect. And you also say after playing the PS4, the servers are so much smoother. I've never been over there on the PS4, but yeah, I know that there's been some issues over here, so I'm hoping that they can fix the server issues because that is huge when it comes to league racing. You guys know how it goes, so hopefully they can get that figured out.
Absolutely. With a game like this, with a game in its current state, you kind of have to have it everything working perfectly for a race to work smoothly.
Definitely, especially at a place at the super speedways. They tend to lag a lot more for whatever reason, so it makes it more difficult to put on a good race, especially one that is a lot longer. So I'm hoping it can hold out tonight. And Vinma says, League racing on the Xbox One is almost unplayable. At some points, it does feel like that. It can be pretty rough. But here we go. We're going to get into the race here. Going to go live at Talladega for 94 laps of craziness and a lot of excitement. Look at all these drivers out here. 20 drivers. We have a couple of numbers that are together. So we have Arca driver in the 21, Scooters in the 21. So it's going to be interesting to see who is riding in that car. Geico.
I have multiple numbers.
A little bit. It's going to make things interesting. Right. So, there's not much we can do. It does not show us, as you guys know, who is actually who when you have multiple numbers. So we will try to figure that out and bring you some live coverage here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Here we get in.
I doubt we never guess that wrong a single time.
J-Mac, we are perfect. Our guessing game
Absolutely.
is so good. And I automatically come in and see the 43 card just flipping, guys. So this is going to tell me that we are already having issues. Jose and the 43 car is just flipping back there. But let's take a look at who we have. We're in the 12 with a Rabbit with 3 of... I don't even know if that's more dog. I don't have a 3 on my list, so that makes it pretty interesting. But he is on the outside running with quite a few guys out here. That inside line is rolling, though. Doing a great job.
Yep, it looks like everybody's slowly trying to work their way to the bottom. There's about 6 drivers still hung up on the outside, haven't been able to find a hold. Maybe they're just trying to run up there. Maybe there's a few of them trying to work their way to the back, just to chill.
We have Pro Boss currently leading out there on that bottom line. A nice tight line. These guys are doing a great job holding on to that. We have the 22 of Doc Holliday in second, doing a great job. And then we also have the 19 of Little Wing. We've seen him a lot out here, and it feels like he is doing better each and every race. It sounds like we do not have damage on for tonight, which J-Mac could be a very good thing considering we are at a super speedway, and that can be cause a lot of damage and a lot of guys to have to go in multiple times. So I feel that is going to be good for some of these guys.
The other edge of that sword, some of these guys might be feeling a little extra invincible, and we might see a lot harder racing throughout the stages and throughout the race.
Yeah, I feel last week we saw a lot more conservative racing out there considering damage was on. So these guys were a lot more careful, a lot more cautious making the moves that they were. So we saw a very clean race last week. But so far these guys, like I said, are looking very, very good. That 3 of Blue Baca is in second, looking very good. We have Wonder in that 14 who we just had the interview with. He is currently running third on that inside line with Blue Baca moving on the outside, trying to make a move to get to the lead, but he has no help for just a little bit. That's going to move him back just a tiny bit.
You think you have a run, you think you can get that guy cleared, and you get alongside of him, and then that run just stalls out, and you watch him pass you right back up. That's the frustrating thing about super speedway racing. It's all about runs. It's all about maximizing them and knowing when you have a run that'll make a pass, and knowing when not to jump out of line and cost yourself a few spots.
Absolutely. I am riding behind Rabbit at the moment. We have that 21 on the inside of Scooter or Arca. Both of them are in there. That looks like it is Arca. These guys running a great line out here, going too wide. It looks like they're being very cautious around each other, which I am liking to see this early in the race. You know, the aggressive part of driving is going to come out, but for now, these guys are really getting a handle on how they're driving around each other and how to make this a good, clean race.
It's so tough to ride in a line at these tracks. You get to the end of the straightaways and people will start letting off of each other. Usually the first 2 cars can stay hooked up, but after that, it's a little bit dubious who can stay hooked to each other's bumper, so people will start letting off, and that'll accordion its way through the field if guys aren't ready. And we can see a lot of incidents going into the corners because of that, Frozen.
Absolutely. You know, and I'm out here in a huge long line. There are now forming 2 lines again. Jose tries to lead that second line, tries to make something happen with it, but there's just not enough guys out there. That low line has so many guys and has so much drafting pool on them that high side is just falling back. They're gonna need more help out there if they can make their way out to the front.
The stages are so short and this field is so big that if you're in the back, you kind of need to figure out a way to get to the front pretty quickly. So these guys in the back, they're looking pretty aggressive, pretty sporty, but that inside line just isn't cooperating and staying together really well.
Absolutely. We have Wonder out here in second, doing a great job, and you guys heard it. This guy loves the super speedways. I worked with him for 2 years doing a ton of super speedway races. He's got the line. He can hold that line. He's got the strategy. He was in that group for the first showcase at Daytona where they played on strategy. They held back. They saved their tires. They saved their fuel and end up coming home first, second, and third. So a great job on his end. We're going to see if he can do that again tonight and bring home a top 3 finish here. I know that he's wanting to do it. Pro Boss is still in the lead here. So we'll see what he can do tonight.
Not sure who that was. That might have been the 42 or one of the 43 cars on the apron through the front stretch, which is not at all where you want to be. You definitely want to stay off of the apron through the turns, but through that front stretch, that can grab you too. That's a pretty big transition, and it can cause some trouble as there's a little bit of contact in the back between the 3 and the custom 99 car.
I just saw that, J-Mac, and the apron here is a lot more forgiving than Daytona, but it can still get you loose, and it can still get you into a lot of other people, so you do have to watch it. I mean, when you're going these speeds and on custom setups, it can definitely get you pretty loose. You gotta make sure that you have a handle on how you set your car up. The tune has to be set perfect because it can get you tight going into the turn, but then again, if you have it set too loose, it can get you into some trouble.
And these races are a place where people seem to like to run their cars really tight. They'll run a lot of front brake to help get down the speed with pit road entry, keep the back end underneath them, but that can cause some issues in itself, especially when these packs start moving at a higher rate of speed. A really tight car is a less maneuverable car, and if there's an incident in front of you, or if you just need to keep your car down on the bottom, that can come and bite you if you're just a little bit too tight.
You said it, J-Mac. We're out here with the 24 of Mordog, one of your Pro League drivers. He's currently sitting in third, and this guy is the points leader so far for AKA's Racing League. So he's doing a great job out here. This guy can get the job done, and I guarantee he's going to try super hard to do it again tonight. A strong car all season. But you see him out here holding a great line, running right behind first and second of Pro Boss and Wonder. Not a lot of guys trying to make it too wide, but so far the line is running really well.
I'm seeing double right now, Frozen. The 43s are side by side. Don't know which one is which, but trying to work with the 99 right now, it's just not working.
I'm curious who that was. When I first came in and we saw the 43 just rolling through the air, the most bizarre thing I have seen in a while. We do have two 43 drivers, Jose and Cappy, I believe. So I'm not sure who is running who, like on what car, but a long line here tonight, J-Mac.
Yep, they're all straightened out. You'll see guys peeking out. In theory, that would be to cool off the engine a little bit, to cool down the oil temps, but in this game, being behind people doesn't really seem to warm up the car too badly. So another reason to pull out would be to kind of kill the draft so that you're not pushing on that guy in front of you, but that can leave you wide open if somebody behind you gets a little too aggressive.
Absolutely. We're riding right now with the 21 of Scooters or Arca. So it looks like that is going to be Arca. Currently running very well. These guys, I'm impressed, J-Mac. We don't have anyone that seems that they cannot hold their line. These guys are doing a fantastic job of very tight racing. A long train that we have tonight. And so far they are holding it down really well. 21 laps for fuel mileage. We're going to see who goes in. I'm curious what they're going to do for that, but it's going to be very close as far as the strategy. Are they going to try to save? But I don't see anyone trying to save there, J-Mac.
6, 7 laps is a lot to save, Frozen.
It is.
Even here, especially here, there's so much on throttle time because you're on throttle the entire time. You'd just be losing way too much speed for that to end up working out for you, I feel like, to save 7 laps. The thing I'm curious about is if any of these guys might try short pitting. As clean as this race is, you'll probably go a lap down, but if you can hook with the field, you can at least assure yourself of the lucky dog. And I don't know. You'll have to see. Maybe you can work your way through the field. Maybe you can hook on at the front of the line and not have to pit in case a yellow comes out. But it does look like somebody tried something because there is a car up in front of the field.
I see that, J-Mac, and we're coming to 14 to go. So, I don't know if he already went in. It's obvious that he did, but I'm not sure what his strategy is. It's going to be interesting to see. A long, long line, though. I do not see anyone except for one person trying to go on the outside to make something happen. We have Jose up there in the 43, and then back further, also in the 43, is Cappy. So a lot of these guys are just choosing to run in the same line, but I really feel that some of these guys are going to go in and short pit like you were talking about.
It seems like a lot of people are short pitting, and I think fuel only is the way to go right now to get enough fuel to go to the end. This place isn't bad for tire wear, and you're going to have to pit at the end of the stage anyway, so that might be your opportunity to take tires. But this looks like it's not going to work out too well for the 42 and 3. I think they needed to get hooked up there and try to stay ahead of the field. Instead, they've moved up high to let them go.
I'm curious how long, even if they did work together, how long they could hold this entire pack off. That is a huge pack. I think that they would have been caught eventually, but man, they really did need to stick together and make something happen. We're here with the one car of Prell Racing, and he's doing pretty good out here. He is formerly Deadly Bomb out here as Prell Racing now in the one car, doing a great job so far here tonight. It seems that we do have an outside line forming back there, not going much as far as moving up the pack, but man, this is something else so far. A very tame stage 1, J-Mac.
That's the 42, who is your first car a lap down currently. The 8 and the 99 trying to work together. And originally I thought it was the 3, which the 99 and the 3 got together, which is why the 3 lost the draft to begin with. So it's always interesting how cars end up together. But right now the 3 has had to settle to hang on to latch onto the back of the pack.
I'm curious. I think he would have to stay out for the rest of stage 1 here, so hopefully it works out in his favor. But man, I'm not seeing how it's going to work out for him. We'll see what he does. Maybe it'll work out in the end, but man, that's a tough call.
Big checkup.
Yes, a lot of movement back here. We see the 43 getting loose from all the movement he's having, but 10 to go here at the line. We only have 10 to go. I think now is where we're going to see a lot more aggressive driving come out. We're going to see those guys trying to make a move, making that high side work, testing the waters, trying to see if anyone at all will go with them. This is where they want somebody to go and see if they can make something happen out there. Any stage point you can get is going to help you in the points, so these guys are going to have to go for it.
If you're up at the front, I think you want to stay where you are and just coordinate the stop, because you're going to come in together and let the pit road roulette kind of sort out what order you come out on. But I'm definitely Frozen. If you're 6th, 7th on back, you need to better that position as everyone gets ready for their first stop of the day.
Absolutely. And we're getting close for our first stop of the day. These guys are going to be coming in soon, I would imagine. Some might wait towards the end of the stage, but I can't imagine waiting too much longer. If it were me, I would probably short pit. I know what you can do with the tires. I can't imagine that you would need to take 4. From me, there would just be no reason. I'm short stopping.
Well, we've seen the shortstop strategy with the 42 and 3. We'll have to see how that plays out in the relation. But both of those cars had lost the draft, so they had to do something different. They couldn't just ride around by themselves and lose all that track time. So they came in, they were able to latch on with the field, but hopefully they don't get a yellow. Hopefully they get to cycle back around onto the lead lap. They won't be attached to the field, but they'll at least hold on to they'll be able to fight again in the second stage.
Absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for joining. We got Ice out there. We got Rye Bread. Noah, thank you so much for joining, guys. You guys are awesome. We have our top 3 drivers up here as Pro Boss, Wonder, and More Dog. These guys are very, very tight together. I'm curious who is going to go in together. Who are these guys going to go in with and make sure that they have the same pit stop strategy? Are they going to work that out, or are they going to make a different strategy for each other? It's going to be really interesting to see with that, J-Mac.
Laps keep ticking down, and the countdown to pit road is the pit stops is, you just have to wonder who's all coming together. Are they trying to coordinate it where it's 2 different laps, or if all of these cars come in at once, that's going to be amazing if there isn't an incident. So I think you definitely want to try to split the field up here if everybody is working together, but then I don't know. We'll have to see. They have to be close on fuel now.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, we're having already some pitters. We have More Dogs staying out. Looks like Wonder and Pro Boss are the ones. We have an accident. People going into the grass. We have the 21 car. A few cars just losing it out there. Let's see if we can get in on some of the action. We have the 43. I'm not sure.
And the 21.
Yeah, 43 and the 21.
And
they're both doubles.
Drivers.
So we're not going to be able to find out who that is. But yeah, let's see if we can get back up here to the front of the pack. I do believe that puts More Dog in the lead currently at the moment. We have 11 of Lucky Dog, who is currently in second place. Another pack. We have a pack of 5 cars back here. We have Prowl Racing, who is in third at the moment.
Couple of cars speeding. I believe Pro Boss was one. He had gotten contacted by the 14 getting in, and I was worried about him. The 14 gave him a bump as they were getting onto pit road, and that was enough to send him over the speed limit.
That's the tough part, J-Mac, and I'm surprised more didn't go in with them. But then again, it went like you said, if you have that many people going in with you, it is extremely hard to have everyone go the same speed and get slowed down enough and not kill the person in front of you. We're coming down to 4 to go, so this is going to be the end of the stage. That, I believe, just killed Pro Boss's chance to win the stage for getting that speeding penalty. We have More Dog coming in. He takes it extremely low, trying to coordinate it with the driver behind him. So hopefully no speeding penalties for him. He goes in with Lucky Dog.
You almost shorten up that pit road wall like it's the apex of a corner, getting down to speed, taking it as close to the inside to make up as much time as possible.
Looks like we have the 21 coming out on the track right now. I do believe that is going to put one of Prel in the lead currently. And here he comes into the pits.
You're able to find out they're all coming. I have no idea who is leading, what the strategies are.
Just craziness. Hopefully we can get a count on who is the current leader at the moment, because I'll tell you what, once everyone starts coming in, and you guys know that we do not have an actual leaderboard here, so hopefully we can get some help on who is the leader now, since all these guys have pitted and are coming out. So far we only have a couple of laps to go before the stage ends.
You have Pro Boss working with the 99 custom car. Pro Boss had a pit road penalty, and the 99 was in the back and had a really slow entry, so that's definitely not the race for the lead, but that's just how far back Pro Boss fell with that little bump that he took that just knocked him over the speed limit.
And we have Pro Boss with that 99 car. I'm not sure if the 99 is the leader at the moment, but
I do not believe so.
I would not imagine. That's honestly the first time I've seen him in this race so far tonight. So and as far as the speeding penalty goes, I think that is holding Pro Boss back from being the leader of this race.
There are a host of cars coming to the pit road, or to the start-finish line right now, trying to figure out who that was that just crossed it. This might take an hour.
We have the 3 hooked up with that 21.
The 1 car might be your leader.
Let's see if we can get to that 1 car.
The 24 is of Mordog is looking on the outside of Cruel with Lucky Dog pushing Mordog around. It's the dogs against Cruel.
That 24 of Mordog there, he is just trying to hold them off. These are the top 3 guys here going for this current stage 1 lead here. We'll see who can bring it home, but Mordog so far doing a heck of a job blocking these guys. I believe this is 1 to go, if I am correct. That's Lucky Dog in 2nd, and we have Prell in 3rd.
Mordog elected to pull Lucky Dog around, and Lucky Dog didn't make a quick sudden movement to get under him and take advantage of him. 2 drivers playing very nice, even though there are points on the line, as Mordog looked like he might have gotten the apron and pushed up a little bit, but that car is really fast as he is gapping Lucky Dog right now, who might be trying to build up a run.
It's possible, and Mordog doing a heck of a job trying to make it so he does not get it, but here we come to the stage 1 finish. Who is going to get it? It looks like Mordog took that home. That is stage 1, guys.
Lucky Dog had a heck of a run, but the 1 decided to stay low and push the 24, and that was it. That was the difference.
I'll tell you what, he was helping the 11 of Lucky Dog, but he was not going to let him pass. Fantastic driving by Mordog. Great defensive driving. He's going to help him out, but man, he was not going to let him take that stage. Those are going to be some points added to Mordog and his lead in the points, because he's your current leader for the points.
Mordog should definitely send a gift basket to the 1 crew.
I hear ya. I hear ya. Rangers, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the race tonight. So far, a great race by these guys. A lot of good driving, a lot of switching of the lead. So hopefully stage 2 and the final part of the race here goes well tonight. Here we go. Pro Boss making some moves, getting back that lead spot here. We have 24 directly behind him. We have the 8 on the outside, who is, well, I think that should be Skibowski.
Definitely curious what the strategies were, if that was a no stop or if that was a 2-tire or fuel only stop that that propelled the Pro Boss to the lead. But definitely did him in the 8 car definitely did something different than the rest of the field.
Absolutely, and you know that's probably going to work out better for him. He's going to be able to gain all those positions, obviously, back on the restart. We have that A car having a fantastic run on that outside. Look at that, putting him in the current lead. One of Prell is just
cars
pushing
on the outside,
him. They're just rolling.
Together.
Absolutely. Pro Boss answers, though,
and
that
is a good point.
Yeah,
that was a good point you were saying about Pro Boss. He had to do something. He lost all that track position from that penalty. He had to do something to get himself in the lead, and he was very, very comfortable out in front of the field in that first stage. But he's having a hard time taking it now.
You know, he does hold a heck of a line, but that high side, considering how many cars they have out there, they're doing a great job holding that. And as I say that, they're falling back just a little bit, but man, that inside line just on point. A huge train, and it looks like that outside line is growing faster. seems to be getting a little unfolded there, J-Mac. They need to really keep that together. The high side is so hard to be able to keep up with that low side, especially with less cars.
Those front 3 cars, the 8, the 1, and the 19, were just locked bumper to bumper. That was really impressive. Like you said, it's much harder to do that on the outside. It's a longer turning radius. It's a very different angle on either your wheel or your stick, whatever you're using, than it is to run right along that yellow line, and it's something you might not be used to doing. So definitely impressive by those guys to hold on as long as they have and as well as they have, but they're fighting a losing battle, it looks like, as the inside line is gaining more followers and is about to prevail.
We're in car with the 22. Doc Holliday out here doing a great job. That high side, we have the 10 getting a little high, giving a nudge to the 1 car of Prell Racing, and they're holding it, but I'll tell you what, he's giving them some grief out there. We have this, you see that 43 car, and that is going to be, let's see if we can get that out there. We have Jose and Cappy, and I do believe Cappy is the one on the outside rolling with that high line. We have 8 still the leader.
That outside line keeps trying to fight back. It keeps gaining just a little bit and then losing just a little bit more than it gains. It's trying so hard, but that inside line having a little bit of trouble staying together. You saw the 24 pop out from behind the 9 car almost completely. That checked that inside line up just a little bit, but they've reformed and have extended that advantage on the outside.
Little Wing, he was on the outside helping them, but he decided that he needed to get moving, left them, and that has really hurt that line out there. He made a little bit of a checkup behind him of 42 of MDL. He had to do a lot of checking up to make sure that they did not wreck. That made that line pretty unsettled, but that high side is now just rolling backwards. They are going nowhere fast. They're gonna have to make something happen. Hopefully someone up here can make something happen and go out to help them, but right now it is just a long line on that low side.
The outside line only has 4 people remaining, and pretty soon it's only going to have 3. Definitely not where you want to restart. Definitely have to figure out your way to the bottom, unless you can get, like we always say every week with these restarts, if you have the right 2, 3, 4 cars at the lead of the outside line, they can hold on, they can fend off the inside line, they can make it a battle, but that inside line just typically prevails pretty much every time on these restarts.
Absolutely. 18 to go, guys, and we see Wonder out there, who was in the top 3 for the first stage. He has moved back. I don't know if he was one that was affected with a pit road speeding penalty, but he is back further in the field. Hopefully he can make his way back to the front, but he's got some work to do. A lot of traffic. We see a guy kill the inside wall. That is 42 of MDL. He had a nudge out there. I'm not sure what happened, but they are still green, guys.
Maybe some bumper lock that's coming off of the corner. That's when you're trying to wind up the car to get to that guy in front of you, to push them and hope that they push the guys in front of them so you can speed up and get around those guys on the outside. And maybe someone got to him a little too early, or he got to somebody a little too early and there was some bumper lock and it just swung him into the inside line.
Absolutely. We're riding with another Pro League driver out here, the 11 Lucky Dog, driving that Toyota FedEx, doing a great job. Currently in 3rd. He's got a lot of help behind him. These guys really close together. That is Expert Toaster in the 10 car. Very, very tight knit. It looks like that outside is forming quite nicely and they are making a run. The 8 car, he has been just leading that high side so far this second stage.
I said that's the harder line to run. The 43 gets punted out of line. and he is on pit road and has to have a penalty for speeding.
That is definitely going to kill his race.
Luck.
Absolutely. That is one place. If you're going to get wrecked, you do not want to get wrecked into pit road. That was Cappy that got put into pit road. Like you said, he is going to have a speeding penalty, and that is just going to kill his race here at Talladega tonight.
And now he has to make a quick decision on whether that's going to be his pit stop. Maybe he wants to zero everything and hope for a caution so he can get back out there. I imagine he takes fuel and tires there and just tries to cut his losses, but that's definitely going to put him a lap down.
From what I'm hearing, the entire field is trying to save fuel out there. I'm riding with, man, you can see all this chaos back here. I was riding with MDL. He just lucked out getting this caution after a huge wreck just came out. So that's going to bring your first caution of the night, guys.
And speaking of luck, for Cappy, after getting put on pit road, he was a lap down, but I don't believe there were any other cars a lap down, and he should get the lucky dog here. So that's actually a huge break for him, Frozen.
Absolutely. Now, J-Mac, are you going into pit here? And what are you taking? Are you taking 4? Are you taking no tires? What are you doing? I'm just putting him on the spot.
Saving fuel, then it's definitely close. So I'd get a little fuel. I'd maybe take 2 tires here. Probably the next stop I'd take 4, and then the last stop I would take 2. So probably I would just take 4 and everything right here.
You know,
or 2 and a little bit. I mean, sorry.
I agree with you. It just depends on what you can do here. We only have a handful of laps here left. Looks like 9 moves back into 4th spot. We have Lucky Dog coming out here as the leader. Expert Toaster on the outside. We have the 43 making some pit strategy moves. He is in currently 2nd, moving on up as that outside once again is falling back just a little bit. It is always a lot tougher to make that outside do something.
The 9 and the 10 weren't quite lined up, and the 9 just got his nose just to the outside of the 10 of Toaster, and Toaster walled Pro Boss just a little bit. Definitely didn't look intentional, but just a little bit of bump drafting going wrong.
I saw that, and I'm getting some news that Arca had some engine troubles. He is currently out of the race and into the garage. So your only other 21 car is out there of Scooters. Shame to see that.
Excellent move he was on the bottom, he got the draft, and he pulled right up in front of the 8 to lead that pack, but that seems to have slowed them down, and now he is stuck in the sucker hole.
That's a new one. Look at him just making a move going on the inside. I do believe that was the 99 car just diving it down low, trying to get in the line there. It was either 99 or 1, but fantastic move. He is currently trying to go on the outside and make something happen on that line out there. But 11 of Lucky Dog doing a great job. We're currently working on 10 to go, J-Mac.
10 to go. Everyone should be able to make it on fuel. I don't believe you wouldn't have pit there if you didn't think you could make it. So I assume everyone believes they can make it. So if this goes green, no stops. It's just a straight up race to try to get some stage points.
Absolutely. A lot of big names up in this front pack. We have Pro League drivers all over the place. We have 11 of Lucky Dog. In 2nd, we have the 43. We have more Dog in the 24, another Pro League driver. We have the 9 of Pro Boss currently in 4th. And then looks like the 1 car. A lot of guys getting loose. We have guys in the grass. He is able to hang on to it and not take out anyone, but he suffers the consequence of it, and he is in the inside wall.
Just looked like another bump draft gone wrong. Maybe the 1 got a little bit inside of the 9, and they bumped each other, and the 9 went up the track, and the 1 went down, and unfortunately might have gotten grabbed by the apron just a little bit, and then got sucked into the grass, and did a great job of holding on to it for as long as he did, but
Absolutely.
it's just so hard to gather that car back up after it's been in the grass.
You know, that was a moment right there where he could have, came back on track and just caused a huge pileup, but he didn't. He was able to keep it down there. Unfortunately, he hit that inside wall, but huge props to him to keeping it off the track like that. We have 11 of Lucky in first, and we have Jose in second, who is trying to redeem himself from the last couple of races where he ran out of fuel at Auto Club last week. And then the race before that, it was his race again to lose. So he is another one who really, really wants a win tonight.
Outside trying to get situated, trying to get formed up. The 8 car was at the very tail end of this lead the lead lap line. He made up about 5 spots on the guys trying to form up on the outside to pull up on the back of the inside line, and now there is no outside line as everyone has worked their way down to the yellow line.
That was 7 to go right there at the line, so not too many more laps to go, and these guys are currently single file once again with only a couple of stragglers trying to make that outside work, but they're just going nowhere fast. You see that 19 trying to make something happen out there, but he sees no one is taking a chance with him, so he just files back in line. That is a 19 of Little Wing, who, like I said earlier, we're seeing him make some moves up front each and every race. Somebody that, we're seeing more and more of out front. So very cool to see the progress he's making in this league and making some moves out there.
21 had a run, made a move to the outside. The 8 didn't go with him, and that hung him out to dry. And that seems to be the only way guys want to make passes right now, is to take advantage of slightly more aggressive drivers. But if you're going to want to score more points, at some point, these guys are going to have to figure out a way to coordinate that outside line.
I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat once again. And thank you so much for joining. Thrills, what is up? I hope you're enjoying the race. I got to tell you, J-Mac, look at these guys just holding the line. We're at 5 to go at this point as they hit the line. So these guys are single file, and I think we're going to start seeing some guys trying to make moves, trying to make that outside work. Pro Boss takes a peek, seeing if anyone is going to take him up on it. No one does, so he sneaks back in line. 24 keeps taking a peek. We have a couple of guys down super low. They are so bundled up, J-Mac. It's making me nervous.
It's just so hard to stay off of those guys in front of you. With setups, the pull of the draft is amplified even more than what we're used to in our no setup leagues and lobbies. So it's just so hard to stay off of those guys. It's a great way to save fuel, but to keep guys off of you and to keep up a decent amount of speed so that you don't check out the field or check up the field, it's just a really, really, really tough job, and these guys are pulling it off so far.
Absolutely. We're watching this 24 of Mordog. He has Pro Boss right behind him, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of give and take going on here. You have to feather that throttle so much. Like J-Mac said, you get pulled so much with this draft going on, and you really have to make sure that you know what's going on in front of you, but also behind you. You have to let off the guy in front of you so that you're not slamming into him and getting him loose. And at the same time, you got to make sure you're not doing anything drastic, because the guy behind you, if he hits you hard, you're done. That's 3 to go at the line there. So we're gonna get some craziness going on here with the moves trying to be made.
The 12 car had to come in and make a fuel-only stop. Very, very, very quick stop, but as you can see, he is going to be a lap down here. Should be in the lucky dog position for the end of the stage, but not the way he wanted to finish stage 2, for sure. Absolutely,
and that is 12 of Rabbit, who has also won the past 2 races. This guy is doing a great job out there. We're coming up, I do believe, on the final lap before stage 2 end. So let's see. I'm getting pretty excited here what they're gonna do, but man, that 24 car and that 9 look like they really want to make something happen. So let's see what they can do. We got Jose in second, and like I said, Lucky Dog out there leading that whole pack.
You're going to know these guys are ready to race is when those gaps start widening just a bit as they cross the start-finish line and they try to set up that run down the backstretch. If you're up at the front, the guys will wait until they exit a 4, but if you're further back in the pack, about 5th or 6th, as you can see, Pro Boss leaning way off of the 24 of Mordog right now.
Absolutely. He is trying to get that run. Same with that 24 car. That is going to be one to go.
He needed just a little more help from the 19. You need to have the help of that guy behind you. You need to almost make that move together as one. And,
absolutely.
He saw that he didn't have the 19 with him and that it wouldn't work, and he pulled right back in line. So an excellent job of Pro Boss to recognize that move wasn't going to work.
I am really surprised that no one third on back is trying to make that outside work. I do see Rabbit out there, but I'm really surprised that Mordog, there goes Jose. Man, that was a huge drastic move on his part. There they go, too wide. It doesn't look like they're going to have anything from Lucky Dog, though. We have Pro Boss getting into a couple of guys here. A huge wreck at the end of stage 2. Absolutely incredible, but that stage win goes to Lucky Dog.
And when he pulled out, he got the back end of Lucky Dog, and that scrolled him up a little bit, and that allowed the 24 of Mordog to get to his outside. Meanwhile, Pro Boss, I'm not sure if he pinched the 19. That's kind of what it looked like might have happened there, but those two made contact and caused a big wreck in the middle of the field.
You're looking at your top 3, though. We have Lucky, and I do believe that is Jose in second. And then we have 24 of Mordog. That is your top 3 for stage 2. Here we go to the final part of this race. We're looking at Pro Boss. We're looking at all these guys. Let's try to make our way to the front. We have 24 of Mordog on that inside leading so far. We have Lucky Dog directly behind him, Little Wing. We're currently sitting with Wonder in that 14.
And again, be interested to know how the 24 and the 1 got out in front of the 11. If it was no tires or just 2 tires. Right there at this pit stop, I think you want 4. You want to set it up so that you only have to take 2 for that last stop if it's a full fuel stop. So I think you want those fresh left sides on right now at the end of that stage. But that's just me. I am a novice plate racer, so
it also depends on, what did you do for the last one? Oh, we're seeing Lucky Dog get wrecked into pit road. A huge pileup. This is going to be the big one, guys, right here. Mordog got into Lucky a little bit, threw him in there. That is definitely going to bring out the caution. We have Mordog involved. Pro Boss, Lucky Dog. A lot of these guys are affected by this one.
Not sure what happened there. The inside line just got really stacked up, and the 11 just kind of got forced onto the apron because of it. The 24 could have gotten the apron, or maybe wouldn't have been just slow. He had to have gotten the apron, or maybe a little bit of a bump from Lucky Dog that upset his car or something, but the inside road just got really stacked up to cause that whole thing.
Absolutely. Sloppy Joe, how are you? Hope you're doing well. That is J-Mac in the booth, your teammate. We have these guys out here racing for RCR in the Pro League. Here we go in the final stage, another restart for these guys. That was the big one, though. That absolutely crazy. Let's try to get out here. We have the 1 of Prel coming back into this league, doing a great job tonight. We have Jose on the outside. We have Wonder on the inside. Jose making some ground out on the outside. It is tough to start out there, but as soon as I say that, here he goes falling back. That's just how it goes, J-Mac.
It's just so hard. You have to have the right cars out there. You have to have about 3 or 4 strong cars to lead that outside line, to lead them to the promised land, and it's just so hard. But right now they might have numbers as the 14 of Wonder and the 10 of Toaster pull out around Perel.
And they're doing a great job. We have Wonder out there on that high side. Prell still leading on the inside, but they have a stacked field on the outside to help him out and make something happen. But they're going to have to really get that line together. We see the 22 making it 3 wide. Not going to help the situation out. He is trying to find his way back in. Nudges out the 21. Almost wrecks him. He's going to have to hang on 3 wide so far.
The way these cars can bob and weave around at these places, it can be so hard to line up a draft. And it looked like he was trying to push the 43 and just missed it. And was underneath him and kind of got forced into the middle there. And if you check up, you could check up the whole field. So he just had to stay in it and kind of let things sort itself out.
Wonder fell back a whole bunch from that. You know, it is just tough starting on the outside. You can fall back so much. I've been on there where you can start second and you fall back all the way to 10th or 12th or all the way to the back of the field. So he's got his work cut out for him. But that inside line is definitely forming up to be a long one.
These guys probably, especially at the front, just wanting to log laps, get to the front. The strategies, not sure how many more pit stops they have left. I believe it's only 1. So your bet is pretty much made at this point, what you're going to do for that final stop. So I think a lot of these guys just wanting to log laps and make it through that last little pit road randomizer, and then figure out how to race it out.
I do believe we have a caution. I'm not quite sure why that came out, but you know, J-Mac, I was thinking as I was riding with the 11 of Lucky Dog, he must have done something with strategy. He must have taken no tires when he got thrown in there, but then he must have done the same to gain back those positions, because he's currently sitting in 3rd as that caution came out.
Well, it all depends on how the game decided to score him when that caution threw, because even though he was down on pit road, he was still probably like 5th or 6th. So that might have been just where he got thrown back into the race whenever we went to green. But definitely a nice job of holding on to his position. And, you know, when you're getting wrecked and you can still find yourself in 3rd, 4th, wherever he is right now, that's definitely a good day as he goes to the back of the pack with more strategy.
As soon as we say something else happens. That's just how it goes. We
yeah,
have that,
you know.
We have the 8 cars, your current leader out there having a great start. The outside line not doing too bad. We have the Rabbit on the outside holding that out. But man, inside getting all over that apron, making me just a little nervous. We're seeing a lot more movement from these guys. That's something that is going to be hard to see on the end stage here. Hopefully they can make something happen and keep it going steady. We see Pro Boss trying to dive down low. These guys right in front of him. Another caution comes out.
Another wreck in the back, and it's something that we hate to talk about, Frozen, but it's just something that we see every single time. We get them, the race gets a little longer in the tooth. We see a few cautions, and the cars start weaving a little more, and we start hearing more and more talk about lag from the drivers. So it's just something we're going to have to watch for, especially at a place like this where everyone is on top of each other.
It is true, and we've talked about it so many times, and like you just said, I feel like the longer the race continues and the more cautions you have, the more lag that happens. And I don't want to see that tonight. These guys have ran such a fantastic race, and they've kept it so clean. So hopefully we can just pull that back together and make something happen. Just keep the lag away. Just keep that away, because it is so apparent here at Talladega and Daytona. They're just known for that issue. I'm going to keep my eye on the back of the field. It makes me very nervous. A lot of weaving and bobbing. We have Pro Boss getting into the bottom line. I don't know if he got hit there. Man, it just looked like he was not clear coming down. And a huge pile up in the back. You see it there? Cautions breed cautions, guys. And that is what we're looking at right now after a clean stage 1 and 2.
Only explanation I have is that maybe Pro Boss got into the 10 and it hooked him to the left, but he just hooked it straight into Wonder there, and that really piled up the field.
Absolutely. You hate to see it. I mean, like I said, we had only 1 or 2 cautions maybe, and now what are we on, 4 or 5? You know, it's just it's a shame to see. These guys have a great car out here, and let's just hope that it does not turn into a lot of lag. It's something that is known to happen here, so hopefully we can put that to rest.
This is going to throw everybody's fuel strategies. I was talking about earlier, your beds are made. Well, this rash of cautions has unmade those beds a little bit and freed up what people can do with tires, fuel, and whatnot, especially if you get sent to the back with a wreck. Just put 4 on and go after it. But this has definitely changed the game, and it will continue to change the game if this is how this race is going to continue to go.
Absolutely. I am trying to make my way up front. Let's see if we can do it. It is not wanting me to be up there. So for now, we're just going to ride with the one of Prel on that outside. Again, it is such a hard line to take. He is trying to find his way down, but there are no takers out there. They are just flying by him as he is melting back. He decides to get down right in front of Lucky. That could have been a dangerous situation. Lucky holds it off and lets him in as he kind of forces his way down there. 20 to go at the line. The 21 is on the outside, falling back quickly.
So in theory, anyone that pitted there should be able to make it on fuel pretty easily, judging by how many laps they've been able to run so far this race. A little bit sketchier for the guys that have stayed out, but you either stay out because you're expecting more cautions and you're expecting this race to continue like it kind of has during this third stage, or you think you're good on making it, as the 12 of Rabbit got knocked out of line and he is going to lose the draft because of it.
And he is a guy that has been on a roll as far as wins go, so I know he is not very happy right now. But man, look at this line. It's a little concerning. We have the 99 going underneath the yellow, getting a little squirrely out there, and Pro Boss was following him. 99 decides to check it out on the outside. No one goes with him, so he quickly tucks back in. But man, we'll see if anyone else takes it on the outside.
Again, always curious seeing custom cars in these league races. Just personal opinion, they seem to lag a whole lot more than normal cars. They always seem to be a little bit of an issue. And so it's always interesting to look around the 99 car. He's run a few races, and he seems to be around a few lag things. And it looked like there he got hooked on the 8 just a little bit, and that put him on the apron and caused that little scary moment. So definitely curious to see the 99 car in here, in that car anyway.
Absolutely. We have 2 packs here. We have a huge line up in the front, and then quite a bit of space between that and the second pack. But these guys, a long train, J-Mac, and I think we're going to see that for a little bit. I think we have either 19 or 18 laps to go at the moment, so we have plenty of race left. And like you said, a lot of these guys, if they pit on that last caution, they can hold on for the rest of the race. So 17 at the line, guys. So we're going to see what they can do. Are they going to be saving just to make sure? Because if you're going to have more cautions, if they don't watch it, they're going to have to go in again. But a little squirrely out front, a lot of movement from these guys. We'll see what they can do for the rest of the race here.
I think it's like I said earlier, and as the stages have wound down, if you're in that front 5 or 6, I think you're cool, just chilling, keeping your spot, trying not to open up the inside to guys behind you, but trying to stay off of that guy in front of you and just log laps to get to the finish. Obviously, there comes that point where you have to make that run to the front, and you have to time it right. And it seems like guys always go just a little too late. You're so afraid to lose that spot, to pop out of line and to get no help, that it causes you to wait and hesitate. And at a place like this, if you hesitate, if you wait until that last lap, it might be too late to make that run to the front. So definitely will be interesting to see what lap these guys choose to get aggressive. I think it needs to be happening as soon as maybe 10 to go, but I would not be surprised if with 2 to go, or even coming to the white flag, if they're still not in a single file line.
You know, I'm one of those people where I tend to wait. If I'm behind somebody, I don't necessarily want to make the move to the outside, because that's just more time that line can fall apart. If I know someone's going to go with me and we have a plan, I'm one of those that are going to wait to the final lap and let's make a move to the finish line. We have 15 to go here, so I'm not expecting anyone to move out just yet. As soon as I say that, somebody will. But for me and my experience, if I'm going on the outside at 15 to go, that's just more room for me to fall back, and I'm not doing that yet.
And of course, the counter to that is if you make your move now, you have an opportunity to fail. So you could go to the back, regroup a bit, and try to come up with another plan. And that's the difference, is if you're 5th, you have a better chance of winning the race than if you're 10th right now. And that's the one hand in the other kind of a thing with plate racing, is when to pull out. And both schools are correct and both schools can be wrong. It's just it just depends on the race.
We have that 8 car just leading a ton tonight, Skibowski, I do believe, and he is doing a great job. However, that is a position that makes me extremely nervous. I can't tell you how many league races I've been the leader for most of the race, and then those final few laps, somebody decides to take it out and they pass me on the final lap. That is a position that is going to make me very nervous, and I'm curious what he's going to do. If he sees someone going out, is he going to try to defend that like we saw Moordog earlier, trying to get to that stage 1 win? It's going to be something that we're going to wait and see.
Right now, judging by the distance between these guys, I think they're saving a little fuel. Maybe not for the end of the stage, but for a potential green-white checker if we happen to see one. So a very smart move. If you're not going to be aggressive here, might as well save a little bit so that you don't have to pit if we get a yellow. But then again, if we get a rash of them, then that fuel becomes an issue for everybody.
Some of these guys are saying that they're good on fuel. Some of these guys are saying that they're going to be short on fuel. So who is going to go in? We see the 22 fly out. I don't know if he got pushed out, but that was a drastic move on his part. The 8 car, you know he's going to be using more fuel than anyone. He is leading this pack, so that's going to be tougher on him with fuel strategy. I'm curious, does he have enough? Can he bring it home for this win tonight? Going to be very exciting to see. Proboss just hanging back. I do believe this guy is saving fuel out there, and he's doing a great job of hanging back from him.
And the 99 has not left the 8's bumper, so he's not saving fuel either. And I'm pretty sure neither one of these guys pit on that last caution. So they might just be doing this for track position. I don't know how good on fuel they are. They're definitely not saving any. And considering they have less fuel to begin with than a lot of these guys, they have to be really, really, really close, or if not, completely short.
I'm getting a little nervous here, J-Mac. That 99 is all over that 8 car of Skibowski. What are they going to do? And Proboss is just hanging back, letting it all happen. You know, he's one that is great on strategy. We saw that at Daytona. We talked about it earlier. He was out there with Wonder and a couple other guys in that first showcase race at Daytona. They hung in the back, made it on pit strategy for fuel, and made their way out to the front and won that race as a group. Look at how far back he's hanging. We have the 22 car getting underneath the apron, rises up and hits a couple of cars. He's still getting squirrely back there. We're coming to 10 to go, and I'm curious if that was looking like it was going to be a caution coming out.
that thins out this front group. That back group is going to have to work together to catch this front group. The way they're saving fuel, I believe those 4 cars could line up and catch this group of 5 up here. But if any of them are trying to save fuel, that kind of throws that out the window if they want a chance to race for the win here in regulation.
We have 3 groups. This first group, a second group that you can see behind, and a whole third one that I can't even see on the cameras looking back. But that second group, after the incident with the 22 car getting loose and underneath the apron, hopefully they can catch these front pack. But some of these guys are going to have to go into pit, so I'm curious how that's going to work out and what they're going to do as far as strategy. Looks like Pro Boss is coming up a little bit, but he is still hanging off these front 2 guys, and 8 and the 99, they are using all the fuel.
Yeah, this third group, not sure what happened to separate them from the field, if they're saving fuel or if there was a little bit of an incident that separated them, but I have to imagine that the only hope these guys have is to max save and then hope for a late yellow that causes a green-white checker so that they can cycle to the front without having to pit. And that's pretty much their only option. So I imagine these guys are 75%, if that, right now.
8 to go for the end of this race. Only a handful of laps. I'm getting very nervous, J-Mac. This is very exciting. We have Pro Boss up here. We have the 24 of Mordog. Pro Boss taking a look on the outside, trying to squeeze him. Gets into Mordog. A huge altercation with these guys. The one makes it through of Prel. That is definitely going to hurt him. You know, you get too close trying to side draft and trying to squeeze him down there. You got to make sure you can hold it. That 22 car is taking advantage now. That's Doc Holliday, and he's going to see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, that was a very interesting looking incident there. I only caught on to it as it was happening, with the 9 and the 24 making contact. So just a crazy ramping up of aggression that seemed a little out of nowhere, but maybe it was just another one of those bump drafts gone bad that kind of sends everybody every which way.
Very close out here. A huge third pack out here. Actually, they're all together now. We have some contact, and the one goes into the wall. A huge pileup with only a handful of laps. I would imagine that's going to be a caution, guys.
That is going to be a caution. The one car got into the 99, it looked like, going into the corner and went up the track just a little bit. That opened up the hole for Mordog. Mordog, it sounded like, was trying to lift, but there was just too much of a run, and he was underneath the one, and the one just didn't recognize it and came down on the 24 and put him on the apron, and that just caused a huge wreck.
Absolutely. Fuzzy, I hope you're doing good. Lunatic, how are ya? Pops, I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for joining out here tonight. We're on the final few laps here, and I'll tell you what, it is an exciting race so far here tonight. A lot of different leaders, a lot of different pit strategies going on, and with only a handful of laps here, who went in and who we're going to see come out as the leader here after the pit stop.
I mean, if you're worried about fuel at all, you come in there, you get fuel in that thing, and you make sure you can make it to the end. But if you think you can make it, you definitely want to hold on to the track position as late as this race is.
Absolutely. That 99 is your current leader. We have 19 of Little Wing on the outside, Pro Boss on the inside. Or actually, I'm sorry, that is Lucky Dog on the inside. Very close, and a lot of wiggling going on behind him. We see the 22 swerving back and forth. These
Lucky Dog
tries,
letting the 99 get away. I think he might be trying to make a move here, Frozen.
I think so. I think he was trying to get a run, and then he just if I were him, I think I would have made a run and gotten in front of that 19 and make something happen out there. But man, we are closing on the final laps here, and it is getting very exciting. I do believe I heard 2 to go.
As much as he was letting off, but I think he might have been anticipating that outside line falling back a little more than it did, and there is another yellow.
That is a caution. We saw some contact in the back. A couple of cars got wrecked. It's going to be another caution, guys. This is getting so intense. The real racing is going to happen here with more aggressive driving, some more moves being made. I'm getting pretty nervous.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what kind of games are played by drivers trying to gain runs, but at the end of the day, that outside line has to get it going for them to have a chance here. It'll be interesting to see who pops up into it, how many positions they lose, and if they lose 2 or 3 spots, if those guys who will be on the inside of the second and third rows on this restart, if they will pop up on the backstretch to lead that group. Moordog is definitely in a good place to do that if he chooses to be aggressive here on the penultimate lap.
We're in overtime, J-Mac. We're going to see what these guys can do. We have a little bit of contact between Moordog and Little Wing. We have the front two making a little bit of contact here. 11 of Lucky Dog on the outside. We have 99 on the inside. The 8 car of Skibowski right behind the 24 of Moordog. A lot of movement going on. A lot of squeezing. Going 3 wide for third. Lucky Dog comes down and almost takes out Skibowski. Manages to hold it onto it. But man, that was a tough call right there.
11 and the 19 were having a real tough time staying together there. Not sure if there was lag or what, but just a lot of contact between the two, and they got side by side and almost wadded up the field. The field did manage to wad up anyway, it seems, but...
J-Mac, I do believe we have another incident here.
Yeah, another incident in the back. It's just there's so many moves being made up front now. It stacks up the field, and as crazy as this race is getting, it just gets real tough on those guys in the back. It's easy to be like, oh, back markers causing incidents, but at a place like this where it's so momentum based and you're trying to keep it up, it's just really, really tough on those guys in the back to just react to everything that happens in front of them.
It is, and I'm seeing a lot of guys squeezing others down to the apron, trying to mess them up, trying to take any draft they can get from them. Sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does, but man, a lot more aggressive driving here. We're watching the 43 of Jose, and this is another guy wanting to win. He's got to make some moves, got to make some magic happen.
We've got 4 really good cars on the outside, but that doesn't look like that's going to be enough, as the inside line is getting a huge run.
Huge pile up again in the back. That's going to be another caution, guys. Man, such a clean race tonight at Talladega, and to see the final laps, I mean, we are in overtime, and it's going to be tough here. A lot of guys wanting to make some moves, but if there's a lot of cautions going on, it's hard to do. And as I suspected, as we are having all these cautions, a lot of these guys are getting really tight on fuel and are going to have to go in, and that is going to put them in a position they don't want to be in.
It'll be interesting to see who stays out there and just throws caution to the wind for the sake of track position. But if you're tight, if your fuel light's on and blinking at you, you've got to come in and get fuel. As the race is trending now, you might be able to work your way back up to the front if you can dodge a couple of wrecks.
We're in car with the 19 of Little Wing. We still have the 99 out there. And first, we have the 8 of Skibowski out in second. Expert Toaster in third. That low line moving great as always. Moordog on the inside doing great. Pro Boss on the outside. I just want to see these guys have a clean, great end to this race. It's been such a fantastic race so far here tonight.
It's just going to be interesting to see when these guys make their move. They seem like they want to wait. The 24 is lagging back a little bit off of the 10. Wouldn't be surprised to see Moordog pop out on the exit of 4 here.
You know what I've noticed about these races? Expert Toaster seems to sneak up on the final parts of a race, and here we see him once again in second place. We haven't seen him in the final 3, but here is the white flag, guys. This is the final lap. Can he get a win here tonight? Usually something crazy happens and he gets caught up in stuff, but man, we have this 99 car out here.
The 24 lagging back big time to pop out. It looks like he's going to get to the outside of Toaster. He's got Lucky Dog behind him. We've got 3 really strong cars pushing on the outside. And that looks like they might be able to get the job done.
Huge, huge. What happened to Moordog? Did he run out of fuel? It looks like, guys, he ran out of fuel. 99, if he can hold on to it, he is going to get the win. We have some stack up going on in the back. Absolutely crazy race. It looks like 99 is going to be your winner tonight with 22 of Doc Holliday's in second. 1 perhaps of Prell here getting third. Crazy race here, J-Mac.
I think Toaster might have gotten Perel for third, but
okay,
we'll have to see the official results. Not 100% sure, but those 3 were definitely 3 wide across the line. Toaster got boxed in by that move from Moordog, but he had maybe a chance to do something there on the exit of 4, but there's just no run to be had, and the 99 car comes home with a win.
And I don't believe we've seen him in a lot of races here in the league. So Delta, Holiday, and Toaster are your top 3 here tonight. Let's get these guys in the party here. That was an intense couple of laps for the final part here.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
We haven't seen you a lot in this league here, but man, I'll tell you what, you were on fire tonight. Great job on the win here.
I had a lot of help. I got a couple of teammates with me. Thanks Ski and Scooter, and they know who they are.
Tell me your strategy going into this race, and what happened with all the cautions. Did that mess up your strategy at all?
Kinda, yeah. We had a couple of teammates together. We were gonna try to line up and ride the high line there, but it never worked out. Then at the end there, just all them cautions, I didn't pit, and I had my partner with me, Ski, there, so we were gonna try to do one and 2, and then we had that other caution. He ended up on the top there, and I just stayed. I just pedaled to the metal and went for it.
You definitely did do that. How were you on fuel in the final few laps? Did you have an issue with that, or were you okay?
I had 3 laps left of fuel.
Oh,
every
wow.
time we pitted.
That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah, I just went for it.
And you certainly did, and brought home the win. So a huge congratulations to you tonight. You held it out, and you did the work, and you brought home a win. Great job.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, J-Mac, take us over to second place of Doc Holliday.
Howdy, Doc. Congratulations on your second place finish there. Tell me a little bit about your race tonight.
Oh my God. I just can't believe I finished second. I was running up front all night, top 10, and then towards the end there was a little mishap between a couple cars and set me flying, and so we ended the caution. I went and started 14th, took tires, come back up there, and I was going to go with Toaster, and I got a little bump from behind him. I couldn't get behind him there. So I passed him and got second, and I was like, holy crap, I come from 14th back up to second with all those cautions. So
yeah, we
still
saw
had
you
about
got
3 laps of fuel.
Yeah, we saw you got separated from that front group at one point before all that rash of cautions, and just a lot of stuff. So great job of working your way through. And you were talking about it a little bit there, but again, talk about that last little, that last run to the finish there, and what you were trying to plan to do there.
Well, I was trying to plan me and Toaster go up around, try to get around Delta, but it didn't work after neither one of ours favor there, so we just couldn't get it done because
It
got a
worked
little
out to
bump from
yours. You
behind.
got second.
Yeah, no. Well, I guess that's my favor since I kind of got bumped there and taken out by somebody, but no names. But it was all good. Yeah, I finished second. Thank God, it's over with.
Yeah, I agree.
I did throw
Yeah,
in the air
thank
for a
God.
few minutes too.
I was
that
starting to get
flipping.
a little anxiety there at the end.
Well, if we could have got to you, trust me, we'd have moved you. We'd have took you.
Oh, I know you would. Racing with
Well,
the big dogs.
congratulations. Good, nice job of bouncing back, and glad you're able to survive it.
Oh yeah.
That was a cluster of cars. Toaster, take me through your race. You made your way up front there, and I'll tell you what, you were looking great. How was your pit strategy, and what were you thinking those final few laps?
I was thinking, I hope I don't run out of gas. I hope I don't run out of gas. I hope I don't run out of gas. No more cautions. No more cautions. When we took off for the on the very last run there, when I was in the middle of 1 and 2, low fuel came on. I was like, oh god.
Oh, jeez.
If another caution had come out, honestly, I probably would have finished 15th. I would have had to go get fuel.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a crazy race. Really, just everybody, kind of typical Talladega. Everybody just being conservative and riding there for the first 2 stages. A little bit of aggression towards the end of the stages to nab some points, but nothing too crazy. But then after the, once everybody could make it on fuel, theoretically, that's when it started getting a little crazy.
I'll tell you, you guys had us on the edge of our seats. Incredible race. And that finish, though, between you and Prel, you guys were so close, it was hard to even see who got third there. Great race to you guys, though. You guys did fantastic, so good job on third. Delta, how does it feel winning
Thank
tonight?
you.
That's awesome.
Feels good beating the big dogs.
I bet. You were looking pretty good out there, I gotta say.
Yeah, I do a lot of super speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations to you guys. Great racing out there tonight. And I can't wait to see what you guys do next week.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
for having
Texas.
Of course.
Hey, good win, Delta. Good run, buddy.
me on. Hey, thanks, man.
Absolutely. All right,
run, Doc.
guys. That is it for our stream here tonight. J-Mac, thank you so much for being in the booth. Once again, we always have a lot of fun. Skibowski, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And Bryce, thank you so much. You guys are all awesome for hanging out. I know these guys love the support, and it's great to see you out there. J-Mac, I can't wait
Thanks for
till
everything
again
you
next
do,
week.
Frozen.
You're welcome.
Thanks
It's
for
so
everything you
much
do.
fun. I know J-Mac
It
and
is.
I have a lot of fun.
We do indeed. Can't wait to jump up in the booth again and do it over next week.
Hey, you guys do
Hey,
a good job.
Frozen.
Well, thank
Quick
you.
question for you. For all
Yes.
those that don't get to watch the live stream.
Mhm.
How long before it'll pop up where I can go back and watch it?
Literally, as soon as the stream goes offline, you can go onto twitch.tv/FrozenToast24, and all the videos will be there. I also download them the next day to YouTube. So if you know my name out there, FrozenToast24, you can view them out there, but it is available at a couple of different spots.
Right on. All right, good stuff.
All
thanks,
right.
thanks,
I'll be
J-Mac.
watching
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Frozen. Good
You're
stuff.
welcome. Great race, and I look forward to seeing you guys out there next week.
All right,
Alrighty.
we'll see you. Thank you.
Harvick says he'll be back out there next week. I can't wait to see you back out there. I missed you this race, so go get him out there, Harvick. And like I said, we're out tonight tomorrow we will be on NASCAR at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A ton of racing this week. So I can't wait to see you guys out there. Until then, have a great night.
You too. Thank you.